prepare to race onto the field. Everything is riding on this football game. So there's a special intensity, a special urgency. Here come the volunteers. Wherever you listen throughout the world, it's football time in Tennessee.
What's up, guys? Dane Davis here. Shout out to Boogie Bentley Dauber and the Indie Kid over at Talkin VAWLS Network on YouTube. VAWLS fans, head over to their YouTube channel, Talkin VAWLS Network. Smash that like button and subscribe, baby. Go Big Orange.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley, and we are right around the corner from the start of fall practice. We're going to be talking about position battles, obviously the quarterback position, but also on the defensive side of the ball. How is the offensive line going to shake out? A lot of stuff we're going to be talking about over the next coming weeks. We're going to be talking about depth charts, practice reports, all that good stuff. It is almost football time in Tennessee, but today we're going to talk a little recruiting as the Vols just landed a big-time commitment for the class of 22, and that is four-star offensive lineman Addison Nichols. As he makes it official, we've talked for weeks about the importance of landing Nichols and what he means to this class. You know, it's one of those kids, he has a lot of ties to the university. His mom actually attended the University of Tennessee. His grandparents live in Knoxville. It's one of those kids that grew up attending games inside of Neyland Stadium. It's one that we needed to win. You hate to lose those kids that grew up being a fan of the Vols. We all know the stories. We don't have to relive those nightmares, but Addison Nichols makes it official, commits to the University of Tennessee. When you look at his final three, came down to the Vols, Ohio State, and North Carolina, but Josh Heupel gets it done, adding his 13th commitment for this class. When you take a look over at 24/7 Sports at the rankings, the Vols, they were sitting at 37th nationally and 12th in the SEC prior to the addition of Nichols. So obviously going to get a little bump here, but look, got a long way to go in this recruiting cycle. And nothing really matters. You know, a lot of times we make these commitment videos, these recruiting profiles, and people like to leave a comment, I guess, to inform us that nothing matters until you put the pen to paper. And that's true. It does not matter until National Signing Day. Got a long way to go. But if Josh Heupel can land a guy like Walter Nolan, and I'll believe it when I see it. The balls are definitely in play. But if you're going to add a guy like Walter Nolan, continue to build this recruiting class, then it could shape out to be okay for the class of 22. We're going to talk a little bit more about Addison Nichols, but before we do, as always, do me a favor, drop down just below the video. If you'll just click that like button, that little thumbs up below the video, just press that. If you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're just three dudes that love Tennessee athletics. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We are just like you. Just go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Click that bell for notifications. They'll let you know when we go live or when we drop new content. We're getting ready to gear up. Like I said, we are about to start fall practice. Once the season gets rolling, there's going to be a schedule change. I just want to let you guys know about it now. We're going to be going live every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Previously, we've done the live shows on Wednesday night at 7. This season, we're changing that to Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and then always we've got the usual post-game shows on Saturday. So if you're new to the channel, I hope you'll join us. The live shows are a blast. We try to drop a lot of content video-wise throughout the week, but the live shows are where it's at. That's where we get to hang out with you guys. That's where this becomes your channel. But let's take a look at Addison Nichols again as he commits to Tennessee today. 4-star offensive lineman out of Norcross, Georgia. Good size on this kid, 6'5", 318 pounds. The 12th ranked player out of the state of Georgia. He's also ranked 107th overall, according to 24/7 Sports, but also the number 3 ranked interior offensive lineman in the country. Like I said earlier in the video, the final 3 did come down to Ohio State, North Carolina, and Tennessee. VolQuest talked a lot about USC being in the mix for a long time, but he narrows it down to 3, leaves them out. The kid had offers from 30 schools, including Georgia, Florida. Again, just a big-time recruiting win for Tennessee. We talk a lot about how important it is to lock down the state, keep Tennessee kids at home, but it's also nice to go into Georgia, grab one of the top interior offensive linemen in the country, get him to Rocky Top, And just, again, going back to how we started this video, it's when you've got these kids that have all the connections to Tennessee, just a guy you want to lock down, not just on the field, but off the field as well. Just a great kid, well-spoken kid if you listen to interviews with him. But he took his official visit to Tennessee back on June the 18th, been on campus multiple times, again, grew up being a Tennessee fan. Something we're hearing quite regularly. He came away with a lot of high praise for Josh Heupel and this coaching staff. And it's the same old song and dance. These guys building a family atmosphere. They talk about how they're authentic, they're real. I saw an interview just today with Addison Nichols from VAWLS talking about how hostile the environment was, how divided the locker room was under Jeremy Pruitt, but how Josh Heupel in just a few short months has turned that around, has changed that atmosphere by the things we talked about multiple times, the cookouts, the get-togethers, building that atmosphere. They like to keep it loose, have fun. But it's all going to come down at the end of this thing, Josh Heupel's success. It's all going to come down to winning games on Saturday. And what I say earlier, before Nichols committed, Tennessee was sitting at 12th in the rankings for SEC recruiting. That's not going to cut it. That is not going to cut it for Josh Heupel. But on the flip side, we've got a long way to go for this first class. You have to look at reality. You have to look at the NCAA investigation. And it's absolutely ridiculous that it is dragging on to this point. It just keeps going on and on. I saw one poster on VolQuest that said Tony Basilio was actually starting a petition for Tennessee to not self-impose any kind of bowl ban. But at this point, I don't know how that thing plays out. At one point, I thought there was going to be a loss of scholarships. I thought they were going to self-impose at least a one-year bowl ban and kind of see what happens from there. But I don't know how it's going to play out. But the reality is, if you're going to sit back and judge Josh Heupel for how he has done recruiting this class of 22, it has played a factor. It is what it is. It's not helping Josh Heupel on the recruiting trail. And I think you have to sit back and be realistic. To criticize Heupel for this, this recruiting class would just be ridiculous. I think he's done a nice job. Again, you got to start at the bottom and work your way up. His job coming in was to change the culture in Knoxville. As much as some people hate that phrase, hate that word, they hate the buzzwords, it was the reality of the situation. You heard it straight from Addison Nichols' mouth today that Josh Heupel had to change the culture in Knoxville. So again, I think he's done a nice job to this point. He's obviously done a nice job through the portal. Go land a guy like Walter Nolan. All of a sudden, people's opinions, if you go get the number one player in the country, according to ESPN.com, some of these fans are going to quickly change their minds about Josh Heupel and his ability to recruit. But like I said, my last recruiting video, this staff is probably going to have to rely on talent evaluation and development. That's what it's going to come down to, and winning ball games on Saturday. But back to Addison Nichols. Again, great addition for this team. As I said earlier, not just on the field, but also off the field. The kid's active in his church, active in his community, very well spoken. That's something that seems to be a regular for these kids that Josh Heupel is after. Very well spoken, handles himself well. I did a spotlight on him a couple of months back, gets a little bit more in-depth, but the kid's list of hobbies, it's almost comical. Golf, Taekwondo black belt, plays the ukulele, just an interesting guy. Something else I thought was interesting was as he went throughout the course of the recruiting process, he took an audio recorder with him and he sat down and he talked about the pros and the cons of each visit. And then he was going to sit down after the fact. He actually laid out an Excel spreadsheet with the pros and the cons. Just a unique guy, well thought out, unique dude. On the field, you know what you're getting. Big, physical, strong kid, SEC caliber talent. The sky is the limit for this kid and his development. So huge addition for this Tennessee football program. Glad to have Addison Nichols on board. Grab an oar, my friend. Let's go to work. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about Josh Heupel and his ability to recruit and what it would take. What would it take for Josh Heupel in this class of 22 for you to say it was a success? Rankings-wise, drop in the comments below. Let me know. Also, if you want to help the channel, you can go grab the official merchandise of the Talkin' VAWLS Network. Just go to bonfire.com/store. YouTube.com/TalkinVols. We got new merchandise coming your way soon as we roll into fall camp. Again, don't forget, we'll let you guys know the start date. I don't know when we're going to start live streaming, probably maybe here in a couple of weeks, but we will let you guys know. But again, schedule change. Going to be going live Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern time, as well as Saturday for the post-game shows. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. You can see all the notifications scrolling across the bottom of the screen. We'll let you guys know there when we're getting geared up to go live and all that good stuff. We like to throw in some bonus shows too, some fan call-in shows, all that good stuff. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. Do me a favor, if you have not done so yet, please smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. But this is the Talkin' Vols Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.
The songs howl like me, poets sat in arcades, soaking moonlit falls, unbroken past this inundated orb that we call home, and it's night and I'm alone and I'm alive. The